Hail to you, Lord of Light. May you give me my mouth with which I may speak.
Eh? Do it again.
Hail to you, Lord of Light. May you give me my mouth with which I may speak. Hail to you, Lord of Light.
Meow. All right, I heard you first time.
Well, why didn't you wake up then?
Because I'm having the week off. My spies tell me, well, my Shabti found it out, actually, that 2 schools have been working on an Egyptian festival. Something called a play, whatever that is.
Surely you know what a play is.
New to me, but I suggest you watch what they're up to instead of pestering me.
And how do we do that?
See that eye of Horus in the box? Take a good look. The boat of 1,000,000 years. 2 schools have been working on this project, Ravenor School and Joseph Tritton School. They're being helped by the British Museum and the Royal Opera House, and together they're making their own Egyptian musical. The children have already split up into groups. Some are doing the design. There's scenery and costumes to be made.
Here we go, and... Stay. Good.
Some are doing the acting. These children are rehearsing being a giant serpent from the Egyptian underworld.
5, 6, 7. Yes.
Some are doing the music. Percussion will play a big part in this production. And some are doing the writing. If you're doing something of this sort, the first thing to get underway is the storyline. They started discussing this several weeks ago.
To write this play together, what kind of things do you want to have in your show, in your play?
You have to have a really good plot.
A really good plot. Good
yeah.
plot, a good story.
Yeah, good storyline.
Why is that a good idea?
Because then the audience will know what's going on.
And know what's
Yeah.
What are people called in plays?
Characters.
And how do they communicate with one another?
Dialogues.
Right. Okay. Right, from what we know already about ancient Egypt, starting with this group, some ideas. What things do we know that might be in our play?
Pyramids.
Pyramids.
Yeah.
Hieroglyphics.
Hieroglyphics, what are they?
They're, I think they're a form of Egyptian way of communicating.
Good, yeah. Do you remember what they look like?
They're just pictures.
Good, okay. Other things from
Gods.
Gods.
Yeah,
And
that's really
Boats.
the Nile.
The Nile was very important, wasn't it?
Yeah. Pharaohs.
Pharaohs.
Miss, why not have some decent parts for girls?
Yeah, it's true that is.
Why do boys all get the good parts?
Well, some girls get good parts. Well, like in the ancient Greek times, the boys get the good parts, like Perseus.
And why not girls?
Yeah.
In all the fairy tales, the boys are always the heroes.
Yeah, they always come and rescue
Why
the
can't we have a strong woman?
Yeah. And
somebody who's powerful.
If we're going to have good parts for girls, we need to find more about them, what they did in ancient Egypt. Go and do some research. Go to the museum.
And that's exactly what they did do. A group of the children went to talk to one of the experts at the British Museum. And for the rest of the program, we'll be finding out what they learned.
The British Museum. My name's George, and we're going to look at some Egyptian objects this morning.
George Hart is a specialist in ancient Egypt and also works for the British Museum Education Service.
Well, what would you like to know?
We'd like to know about ancient Egyptian women. What sort of life did they lead in ancient Egypt?
Well, they had to work very hard. Probably most of them had to do a lot of hard manual work.
How do you know?
Well, we have evidence in models, paintings, and on written papyri, and we have pictures which show us exactly how they used to make their clothes. You can see the looms on which they're making their linen. And of course, everyone in ancient Egypt used to wear linen.
Making linen. That was one of the basic jobs for the women. They would start by picking a plant called flax, and then they would beat it against a kind of wooden comb. This turned the flax into a sort of wool, and you could use the fibers to spin linen dresses for the women and linen kilts for the men. Of course, there would be different qualities of linen. Ordinary workers wore cheap, coarse linen. Grand people used a linen that was much more elegant. And of course, they also wore splendid jewellery.
Here, there's a ring. And we've got a couple of necklaces. Would you like to look at that? Sheridan, would you like to have a look at that?
What were these beads made of?
Well, these are of a stone called amethyst that the Egyptians used to quarry. Beautiful mauve stone. And the orange colour you've got there is carnelian. They got all their stones from the deserts that used to be on each side of the Nile.
Did they have makeup?
Yes, they used to have green or black eye paint, which they made from minerals from the desert.
Did they use makeup? Well, I'll say they did. Those Egyptian ladies used to spend hours on their appearance. Bit like cats, some people used to say. And perfume. That was something else they were very keen on. You began by picking the sweetest smelling flowers. Then you dropped them into a sack. Next, you added some water and squeezed them tightly. And the scented water would trickle out of the bottom. After that, you could mix the perfume juice with fat or beeswax. And at banquets, people would often wear wax cones of perfume. These would melt slowly as the evening went on, and the perfume would drip slowly down them.
Did women have any of the important jobs?
Well, that's a very good question, because as we know, an awful lot of women spent their time spinning and weaving, making bread and beer. But we do know that some women had quite important jobs to do. For example, if you were a priestess, you had a very important role to keep the cult in the temple going. And if you were a female doctor, you had to be able to read in order to look up all the cures for the various illnesses that you had to try and help.
Were any of the women pharaohs?
Well, there was one very famous queen called Hatshepsut that ruled as a pharaoh for 20 years. Here is a picture of her. That on her chin is the false beard. Only kings of Egypt used to wear that, but because she had said that she was going to be a king rather than a queen, she adopts the false beard of the pharaoh. And she also has the crowns that the pharaoh wears. She has the scepters of a king. And we know a lot about her because she's left us a very splendid temple on the west bank at Thebes called Deir el-Bahri, where lots of tourists go today. And on the walls of that temple, we can see exactly what she wanted us to know about her reign. She was very proud of an expedition that she sent, 5 big boats along the Red Sea, to the land of Punt, just to get frankincense to burn in Egyptian temples.
Queen Hatshepsut. Quite a character she was. Bit of a terror, in fact. And she came to a sticky end. Murdered by her own son. Or so I heard. Nobody knows for sure. No one on this earth, that is. But no doubt Osiris found out the answer when Hatshepsut faced him in the Hall of the Dead. That's what happens to everyone. Or so we Egyptians used to believe. It happened, for example, to a man called Hunefer. Here he is, being led into the presence of Osiris, and then asked questions about his past life by 42 gods and goddesses. They want to see how well he has behaved. And he mustn't tell lies because his heart is being weighed against the feather of truth. Thoth, the scribe of the gods, notes down the answers and checks the scales. These are a bit like a lie detector. If the scales balance, Hunefer is telling the truth and will be let through to the blessed fields. But if Hunefer has been lying and the scales do not balance, then he is gobbled up by a terrible monster, Amit the Devourer. 1/3 crocodile, 1/3 lion, and 1/3 hippopotamus.
Hunefer, have you done falsehood?
Oh, far strider, I have done no falsehood.
Hunefer, have you stolen?
Oh, swallower of shades, I have not stolen.
Hunefer, have you killed men?
Oh, dangerous one, I have not killed men.
Hunefer, have you killed a sacred bull?
Oh, blood eater, I have not killed a sacred bull.
Hunefer, have you committed perjury?
Oh, eater of entrails, I have not committed perjury.
Hunefer, have you reviled God?
Oh, commander of mankind, I have not reviled God.
I, Thoth, judge of truth, have judged the heart of Hunefer. The scales balance. The scales declare that his deeds are righteous.
Let him go forth into the blessed fields.